What's up, what's up, y'all? You are tapping into a 4 a.m. check-in. This is Akio Evans, and I said I'm going to be trying to deliver these 4 a.m. sessions a little more um, than usual, than what I have been. As I explained into the previous session that, I had a lot of things that I was dealing with in the beginning of this year, from January all the way up until, I want to say, mid-March, early April. And things have started to take a positive, great change as April have came. So here we are. I'm actually just reading through some of my notes of this the sermon I looked at just the other night, and I'm gonna start off with that because I ain't gonna hold you guys no longer than what I need to. But what I wrote down in my notes is this: the sentence I'm gonna read to you. It says, "We are not responsible for what people suggest, but you are responsible for the standards you have, or the standards you say you have." I'm gonna repeat that again. You are not responsible for what people suggest, but you are responsible for the standards you say you have. I can kind of go into, I can explain a little bit from what that means for me. I'll give you a quick story. So in 2019, June of 2019 to be exact, I decided to stop drinking. And it's been since then since I've had a drink. I haven't I took no sip of alcohol. You know what I mean? So, and looking back, I'm like, wow, I really actually did it. But I remember when I first made the decision, I explained it to a few of my peers at the time. And I don't know whether people thought I was serious or not, but I wanted to tap into something, different to get different results. I've had indulged in alcohol at an early age. I used to sneak and drink alcohol before I was even a teenager, and I think I've done a lot in my early days, in my teenage years, to actually say, okay, I can take a break in my adult life. And that's what I decided to do, because I feel like I've done a lot of things throughout my life that required me to really activate that discipline. Had I activated the discipline, some things would have had happened sooner than later. But everything is written, and it's for His purpose, God's purpose alone. God did that. God had put me into a position where I said, I want to stop drinking, because I didn't want to kind of succumb to the same things that my biological father had endured with drinking, So I've also wanted to have some clarity and clear thoughts, and I wanted to put a full version of myself into any and everything that I do. So I made the decision. I'm still sticking to that decision. I always share with people, do I see myself tapping back into drinking? I always say, hey, I do see myself being on the beach, having, a cup, like a coconut with, probably a nice beverage inside of it with an umbrella. I do see that as one of my goals, but as for right now, I feel like I need to activate this discipline until I reach a certain amount of milestones that I do have in mind that I want to actually, accumulate, or I have some goals that I want to scratch off the list. So yeah, and even your dreams, even your ideas that you might have, or your experiences that you may have, that some people may not receive it at the time. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm learning still to this day to keep your head down and keep going, and no matter what the signs that may come, that was for those signs and those messages, like as I said before about the Ludacris and the Jiff, it might seem small to some, but those signs and those nudges, those messages was for you and the Creator and the universe alone. So some people might not, necessarily think of it as deep. Some people might not receive it as you receive it. It's not their duty or their responsibility to receive it. And it's not your duty to convince them that they should receive it in the way that you received it, because it came through you. You were the vessel, So, and that goes with ideas, dreams, and so on and so forth. So I'll leave you with that. I hope that resonates with someone, and well, on a lighter note, on a non-preachy note, you know what I'm saying? I've been seeing a lot of sevens lately. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why, but seven's been on my timeline. It's been in chapter 7 in the books that I've read. And it's funny because I was at Snoop's, my friend Snoop's. She had it through a nice small get together at the spot that I went to, and I remember I have images of her cutting this cake, and she only cuts 2 slices of cake, and she grabbed the bigger piece, and people were kind of like in between, not necessarily getting the slice, so she handed me the knife, and I went on ahead and I grabbed a slice of cake, and I ate a little bit of it, but I packed it up. You know how you do with cookouts, you kind of like, you go to a cookout, you pack your plates up, so when you about to dip, you already have a few plates. That's what I was doing, So anyway, I didn't actually get some of the cake because I don't really eat sweets like that. So I decided to, I had a sweet tooth maybe about 2 days later, and I said, oh snap, I still got some of that cake in the refrigerator. I cracked that joint open, and as I'm eating or whatever, I was reading or looking at something, and I looked down, and it was the number 7. And I said, yo, what in the world? You know what I'm saying? So, I think I said that in the previous video, but if anybody have ever seen the number 7, or if anybody, I already seen some of the meanings of what it probably meant, but have you ever seen one specific number that you kept seeing, 7 and 17s, or any number for that matter? Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, to my video, of course, but definitely leave a comment. I want to get your feedback on this matter. So anyway, and it's funny because I'm gonna leave this video at 7 minutes. But yeah, peace, many blessings to y'all. Hope y'all have a lovely Tuesday. Much love and respect, and be on the lookout for more content that I'll be releasing. All right. Thank y'all for tapping in, and like I said, leave a comment and let me know your thoughts on this video. All right, peace. Thank y'all. Peace. One love.